Hi there, I'm Justin Pritchard, and let's look at the new Subaru Crosstrek in this video. And it's been refreshed for model year 2021, so this unit on your screen is the second generation Crosstrek after a recent update to its styling and feature content. Now, this is my first time showing you the second generation Crosstrek, and we're going to get up close and personal with this in a moment. But to start, I want to bring you for a quick trip down memory lane for context. This is the first Crosstrek I drove back in 2013 when it was a new entry to the market and still had the XV designation in its name. At the time, this was a new vehicle for Subaru, putting their spin on a machine that Canadians had started to take quite a liking to. You could call it a small crossover. This blue one is from 2016 after a mid-cycle update, and by the time it rolled around, Crosstrek's Canadian sales had gone from about 6,000 units a year to nearly 10,000 as the Crosstrek got more and more attention. So in all, I put about 3,000 wintertime kilometers on these two machines, with most of that driving happening in real-life conditions in Northern Ontario. And it's that experience that made Crosstrek one of my most commonly recommended crossovers for shoppers in this segment. A favorite of mine, if you will, because this machine knows what it is, doesn't try to be anything it isn't, and is just very good at what it does. And with a manual transmission available throughout its life, even today, well, that's proof that Subaru wants its drivers to enjoy using this machine in the snow, and where I live, people love using their machines in the snow, and I think that's why these things are such a common sight. Beyond all of those things though, Crosstrek's secret sauce to me has always been how it handled itself on really rough roads, and that's very important in Northern Ontario too, because we have a lot of them. It seems like at some point in designing the Crosstrek, someone spent some time dialing it in on rough surfaces until it could tackle them without degrading the driver's sense of confidence in the durability of the machine. Meaning that on bumps and rough surfaces that tend to make crossovers feel and sound somewhat more fragile and delicate, Crosstrek was built to feel a little bit tough. And so it sails quietly and smoothly over the sort of surfaces that can leave some machines clattering and clanking like a sword battle in Game of Thrones. Unpleasant noises and feedback you usually get in a small crossover on a surface like this are very nicely managed. And so to sum all of that up, the icing on the cake for this machine to me is an uncommon attention to detail about how it tackles the rougher stuff, particularly in terms of feeling durable, quiet, and maintaining a nice ride on roads that aren't. So, is that still the case for this second generation unit, shown here in its outdoor trim grade with the Eyesight safety kit landing on about 30,000 Canadian dollars? And the answer is yes, they've done it again. I wasn't left wanting when it came to suspension travel or clearance in light off-roading while checking out some new trails on a foggy November afternoon that was perfect for some photos. Usually, trail debris and branches can scratch your paint, no problem for Crosstrek's black-clad bumper guard that's built to take the abuse instead. Nice touch if you'll get out exploring. You get 1,565 liters of cargo space in back, a nice wide opening for the tailgate, minimal ledge at the end of that cargo hold, and that means an easier jump in for the family pooch. Crosstrek is Golden Retriever approved, by the way. Rear seats have decent adult space. I wouldn't call this stretch out roomy, but I can certainly sit behind myself without any issues. And up front, around the driver, it's a pretty nice place to be. I never got tired of looking at these seats. The slick texture to the smooth material works with a no-gloss finish for a touch of unique and futuristic flair. Stitching and badging help dial up the appeal. Opposite those seats, Crosstrek isn't the freshest or most modern dashboard in the game. The instruments and some of the buttons and controls do look a bit dated beside some competitors. I did appreciate the overall atmosphere though. It's easy to stay connected, full smartphone connectivity comes online right from the central screen, and Android Auto brought my Spotify, Maps, and many other functions right into the central display where I could control them using only my voice. On connectivity then, you're completely covered off, even if you're not in the car. using the Subaru Starlink app on your phone, you can go in, set the climate control temperature, then send the remote start signal to your car. How long do you want it to run for? Where do you want the heat to be on? All of that sort of stuff. I can locate the vehicle if I've lost it in a parking lot, check the door locks, work them remotely, sound the horn and lights. I can look up the vehicle status, vehicle health report, maintenance reminder. I can schedule a service appointment from this if I want to, alter the driver alert settings. And this is pretty cool. If you're sharing the vehicle with a younger driver, you can go in here and actually set alerts for GPS boundary, speed alerts, and curfew alerts. And that helps you make sure that your younger drivers are operating the vehicle safely and obeying all the rules. On the road, Crosstrek's steering and handling seem lively enough, though they're nothing too extreme where speed or reflexes are concerned. Remember, what this gives up on sporty feel, it gains back in ride comfort. It's not opposed to some spirited driving. In fact, it's a good bit of fun due to the size and the low, wide placement of that flat 4 engine up front. But really though, this thing's doing its best work on a more laid-back drive, I think. Moving things along in my tester is a pleasant surprise that was missing from the first-generation machines I showed you earlier, and that is a punchy engine ahead of the firewall. With 182 horsepower, this up-level 2.5-liter flat 4 provides 40 more ponies for a nice shove into your seat during merging and passing. And actually, I'd say a more refined drive if you're a light-footed driver, since this bigger engine is doing less work more of the time to get you up to speed if there's no rush. It's a gear-free, continuously variable transmission at your right hand, and of course, a fully automatic all-wheel drive system beneath that. The Eyesight safety system, which powers a network of advanced safety features, does its job nicely and is easy to work through as you learn how those features work for the first time. Handy on-screen graphics and that clever central info screen help keep drivers up on what the various safety systems are doing. There's also a drive mode selector on the steering wheel. If you're feeling like a bit of a sporty pants, press that and it fires up the throttle response a few steps. Also, X mode is a nice touch. Though Subaru's all-wheel drive system tends to get the job done just fine, you can engage special driving modes that are meant to enhance traction and confidence in challenging situations like deep mud or snow. Gripes? Well, the halogen headlights look a bit more yellow and dated than I like compared to up-level LED headlights you'll find elsewhere for the money, though they do perform nicely. The on-screen graphics and the various displays are improved but still short of the market's best, and some rear seat passengers may find themselves catching their thigh on the slightly intrusive rear door opening. Deal breakers? No, I don't think so. So I think maybe that some shoppers might wish for a more stylish cabin or body, maybe some updated graphics in some of the displays. But beyond that, this really is an improved version of a machine that I'll continue holding as a favorite. I'm Justin Pritchard, and we'll see you in the next video.